Welcome back, focused learners. I am absolutely beyond excited to guide you through today's explainer because we are mapping out your specific career timeline and, quite frankly, locking in your financial future. We're taking the incredibly complex journey of a modern network engineer and breaking it down into a visual, step-by-step reality check. If you've ever found yourself wondering exactly how long it takes to hit those really high-tier salary brackets, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Now, really quick, do you remember our deep dive into cloud networking in the previous part of this explainer series? We touched on how rapidly the hardware landscape is shifting into virtual spaces. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind because today we're going to see exactly where that massive shift fits into your personal career timeline and how it directly impacts your earning potential.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the CCNA study timeline, move into the 2-year experience grind, and then explore choosing your specialization, looking at network security pay scales, the massive automation salary boost, and finally, the fast-growing world of cloud networking.
Section 1, the CCNA study timeline, the very first major hurdle.
Listen, this isn't something you can just cram for over a weekend. Realistically, you're looking at committing anywhere from 150 to 300 hours of highly focused study time. It's kind of like taking on a part-time job. If you start on day 1, by month 3, you should aim to have about 150 hours logged. And by month 6, hitting that 300-hour mark, you'll be truly exam ready. It simply takes a solid 3 to 6 month block of consistent effort to properly digest this foundational material.
Section 2, the 2-year experience grind, the next critical phase.
Wait, hold on a second. Stop right there. I want to ask you a serious question. Does passing the CCNA mean you're ready for the CCNP right now? Should you just, jump straight back into the books and take the advanced exam next week?
The answer is a hard no. Absolutely not. The most crucial thing you can do right now is get hands-on experience first. The source material is incredibly clear about this. The first 2 years of actual in-the-trenches hands-on experience matter the most. You need to configure real routers, troubleshoot real outages, and honestly just feel the pressure of a live environment before you even touch the CCNP material.
So, this 3-step process right here, this is your reality check. Step 1, pass the CCNA. Step 2, spend 2 years getting hands-on experience. Only then do you move to Step 3, pursuing those advanced specializations. Practical application is literally the mandatory bridge to the next level of your career. Without that 2-year grind, the advanced certifications simply aren't going to translate to on-the-job competence.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 3, choosing your specialization.
At this career crossroads, usually right around year 3, once you have that grit and experience under your belt, you're generally looking at 3 distinct branches: security, automation, or cloud. Selecting one of these paths doesn't just dictate the technology you'll be working with, it dictates your day-to-day tasks, your stress levels, and most importantly, it completely transforms your earning potential moving forward.
Section 4, network security pay scales, a very high-value path.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is these massive USD figures, $106,000 to $170,000. According to the data, the CCNP security track is currently the highest paying CCNP path available. If you choose the security route, which is absolutely perfect for those who want to build digital fortresses and aggressively protect corporate infrastructure, this is the highly lucrative salary range you're targeting as a specialized expert in defending networks.
Section 5, the automation salary boost, the hot specialty right now.
So if you want your day-to-day to shift away from manual configurations and move toward writing code, building scripts, and scaling operations seamlessly, this is your specific toolkit. These are the 3 essential skills employers are absolutely desperate for right now: Python, Ansible, and Terraform. Mastering these specific automation tools allows you to manage thousands of devices at once, rather than logging into them one by one. It's a real game changer.
And let me tell you, learning those tools pays off brilliantly. By mastering Python, Ansible, and Terraform, you aren't just making your job easier, you're adding a massive 20 to 30% premium straight to your baseline salary. That is a gigantic, tangible financial leap just for upgrading how you interact with a network.
Section 6, fast-growing cloud networking.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how fast things change. 5 years ago, cloud networking as a dedicated standalone engineering path barely even existed. Today, it's a massive, incredibly fast-growing specialty sector that companies are pouring billions of dollars into as traditional infrastructure rapidly shifts out of the physical server room.
So what does a cloud networking specialist actually do all day? Simply put, they're focused on connecting distributed, virtualized environments rather than dealing with traditional on-premise hardware. Your day-to-day involves adapting to these highly scalable virtual networks that stretch across the entire globe without you ever having to physically touch a single cable.
So the crucial point is this matrix right here. I highly recommend you take a screenshot of this side-by-side summary. It's essentially the ultimate decision-making framework for your career. Do you want the highest paying route with security, the hot trend of coding with automation, or the fast-growing future of virtualized environments with cloud? This is your roadmap, visualized.
To synthesize everything we've covered in today's explainer, I really want you to remember this core theme. The first 2 years of hands-on experience matter the most to build your foundation, but your eventual specialization is what dictates your salary ceiling. Hands-on patience in the beginning absolutely must be paired with strategic ambition by year 3.
But all of this leaves one massive, lingering question. What will your final salary actually look like when you eventually hit the senior level in these specializations? Well, in the final part of this explainer series, we're going to reveal the full salary ladder, from entry level all the way to senior, and tell you exactly what you need to do next to climb it. Stay focused, keep learning, and I'll see you in the finale.
Welcome back, everyone. In the last part of our explainer, we really dug into the weeds of the specialization comparison, right? We weighed the pros and cons of going all in on areas like security versus automation, and we figured out exactly where your focus needs to be to stay relevant. But I know exactly what you're thinking right now. You've put in the time, you've picked your path, and now you want to know the bottom line. You're asking, ready to see what your specialization actually pays?
So, welcome to the grand finale of our 2026 Roadmap Explainer, the Network Engineer Salary Ladder, and your next steps. This is where all that strategy and adapting we've been talking about finally translates into real, tangible financial progression. Here's the game plan for today. First, we'll decode the network engineer salary ladder. Second, we're going to confront the reality of the modern job hunt, which is projects over just passing exams. Third, we'll do a master recap of the complete 2026 career roadmap. And finally, your single next action step to get moving. All right, let's jump right into the most exciting part of this journey. Section 1, the Network Engineer Salary Ladder, where we are mapping your 2026 earning potential. The numbers here paint a pretty amazing picture of the dramatic financial climb you can expect as you move from entry level all the way through to your senior years. Unlike some professions where your income just kind of stagnates after a while, network engineering heavily rewards experience. The steepness of this upward climb, it isn't an accident. It's the direct result of you taking on more complex, high-stakes enterprise architectures as your career matures.
Let's break down the actual bands. If you're just breaking into the field with that foundational CCNA we talked about earlier, you're stepping into an entry-level salary band somewhere between $45,000 and $65,000 a year. Not bad for a start, but the data shows that after just 3 to 5 years of hands-on experience, your value literally leaps to between $75,000 and $100,000. Then, as you evolve into a senior engineer, your compensation scales way past $145,000. And for those top specialists, the ones dominating in high-demand areas like automation, you are commanding an incredible premium, jumping to $170,000 or even more.
Let that number sink in for a second. $170,000 plus. To put that into perspective, that ceiling actually rivals the starting salaries of many specialized medical professionals. That is exactly what it pays to be a top specialist in security or automation right now. And the best part? It is entirely achievable for you.
But, and this is a big but, earning this kind of money requires a reality check about how you actually prove your worth in today's job market. That brings us to Section 2. Projects over just passing exams, or what hiring managers actually want. It is so easy to fall into the trap of thinking a massive stack of certifications is your golden ticket. But here's the tough reality check. Hiring managers explicitly view certifications merely as proof that you can study and pass a test. That's it. What they are actually demanding right now is project evidence. They want to see undeniable proof that you can execute, that you can take textbook theory and translate it into a functional, working network without, taking down the company's entire infrastructure in the process.
It really just boils down to this simple truth. Certifications prove you studied, but projects prove you can do the job. Think about it.
If a hiring manager has two resumes sitting on their desk and both candidates have the exact same foundational certification, the tiebreaker is always going to be the portfolio. They absolutely need to know that when a critical switch goes down at 2 a.m., you have the applied, hands-on knowledge to actually fix it.
So, how does all of this build into the complete picture of your career trajectory? Let's move to Section 3, the complete 2026 career roadmap, and put all the pieces together.
Let's do a quick, sweeping recap of everything we've covered across this explainer series to see how far you've come. Step 1 was all about adapting to the landscape and the massive impact of AI. We learned that artificial intelligence isn't here to steal your job, right? It's here to augment it. You've got to understand how to leverage those tools to be faster and way more efficient. Step 2 focused on the certification path, your foundation. We outlined exactly which foundational credentials you need to just get your resume past those automated HR filters. Step 3 was hitting your timeline and choosing your specialization. We talked about setting a strict schedule and comparing heavy hitters like security or automation so you can become a truly in-demand expert. And finally, step 4 is where we are today, climbing the salary ladder and connecting all of that intense preparation directly to your earning potential.
Which brings us to this defining summary. What is the ultimate goal of this entire roadmap? It's to become exactly this: a 2026 network engineer. This is a highly compensated professional who pairs foundational certifications with hands-on project evidence to confidently navigate an evolving AI landscape. If you can embody that definition, you're not just employable, you are literally unstoppable in this industry.
So, how do we get you there? Let's strip away all the complexity and focus on the absolute most important thing you must do right now. Section 4, your single next action step. Start building today.
Here is my direct call to action for you. Stop just passively absorbing information. You have one clear next step. Build a practical project to prove your skills. Go spin up a virtual firewall in an AWS free tier, or write a Python script to automate a routine configuration. You need to create that undeniable evidence in a lab environment that hiring managers are practically begging for.
Which leaves us with one final question to explore today. What project will you build today to secure your place on the ladder? The roadmap is laid out, the salary expectations are crystal clear, and the rules of the game have evolved. The rest of this, it's entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for exploring this with me in this Explainer series. Now, it's time to log off and go build.